Not only a game I enjoy playing, but an excuse to get together with friends and teammates at your local dive bar. I was quick to say I know how to play pool. If fast, I would jump up and start hitting the balls at full force. But after getting well affiliated with the game, playing with some excellent talent in the APA League, I saw 8 Ball for what it was, a game full of strategy, critical thinking, and a lot of competitive nature. This new love for a game I thought I knew how to play started at Pogo's Bar and Grill, located in Van Nuys, a city of the San Fernando Valley. Although that wasn't my first time picking up a pool cue, it was where I polished up my game the most. Let me introduce you to the APA, the American Pool Players Association, and its league, a great way to take your pool playing skills to the next level. Where the competition varies in age, skill, and ethnicity, first I'll introduce the popular league for players and the history of the sport. Second, we'll go over the pool stick, also referred to as a cue. And third, take a look at my involvement and with the sport and its culture over time. American Pool Players Association, which started in 1981 by two professional pool players and billiard Hall of Famers, Terry Bell and Larry Hubert, made it possible for teams all around the nation to come together, compete, and enjoy the same passion for the game. An article written by APA states that these dreams were made possible by big sponsors like Anheuser-Busch, who came along in 1979, a major break for them. In the beginning, it was hard to get the organization off to a profitable start, but with sponsors like this, APA hosted its first national championship in 1981 in St. Louis with a $12,000 cash prize. Although billiards is one of the oldest games to exist, it resembled and originated from a game played outdoors in the 15th century. It evolved from a lawn game similar to croquet played in Europe. This is why the felt, which is the cloth liner on the table, is green to simulate grass. Richard Logan wrote an article January 18th, 2023 on azbilliards.com where it was said that the development of the professional side of the sport was a long and arduous process. It began in the 19th century. This is when the first pool tabletops appeared and the game grew in popularity. The APA had also recognized as one of the top small business home-based franchise opportunities in the world. In 2010, Forbes magazine ranked the APA as the second top 20 franchises to start. Having such a popular worldwide association to participate in, the history of success is not hard to believe. In my experience playing in the league, they stay in business by charging to become a member of the organization, having team dues on match nights, and for each player and entry fees for any tournaments. So enough of the history lesson. Let's get to one of my prized possessions, an artifact I chose, my shooting cue. One of the most important tools used to get the win against your opponent. Once you get more serious with the game of pool, you learn the importance of having decent equipment to execute your game plan better. I'll give you an example of the evolution of the pool cue, when the popularity and demand grew, also the introduction of the breaking cue used to keep from damaging your shooting stick. The pool cue is essential to the game. The modern stick today is much different from back then. Maces were in their place. The mace has a lot of similarities to the modern day pool stick, except for one detail the head. Unlike straight head of pool cues, the mace was much bigger and used in the 1600s. Straight, they found this stick had its area of improvement, especially true whenever the ball would be close to a rail and the head would keep players from making a decent shot. A quote taken from Paradon.co.uk explains how during the 1929 to 1930s there was a tremendous increase in demand for billboard cues, brought by the opening of several thousand billiard public halls. I can already imagine the joy of purchasing a new cue back in those days, walking in with a carrying case, a new stick, having your own gives you that full pool league experience. There are two different type of pool cues. One is used in the first play of every match, which is to separate the strike balls, which is separate the strike balls from the solid using the breaking cue. Predator released the first breaking cue in 2001, equipped with a balanced weight design as well as a trip furlough developed to transfer maximum energy. This information was taken from the article PredatorCues.com. Just with the history and longevity of the sport and its tight associations, it's easy to want to pick up a cue and start playing. Let me first tell you about my personal connection with the sport. Falling in love and getting better at this game took a lot of patience and dedication. Telling you about every win and loss would be too much. So let me explain where and when I started playing, when I was introduced to APA, and my first time experiencing winning with my squad. I began playing summer of 2002, City of Canoga Park, in my uncle's garage. No form or detailed instructions on how to play, I started hitting the balls. Soon, visits to my uncle's, which were intended for swimming and getting out of the heat, were used as practice sessions. In no time, I started beating and putting up a good fight against the competition in that garage. Little did I know, my skills would need will still need a lot of work to compete against APA players. In 2018, at a local dive bar, Pogo's Bar and Grill, I was introduced to the National Pool League. I joined a team by the name of Taylor Made. This is where my game went to the next level. Watching and learning from the higher ranked players on my squad and the competition. My first season played with TaylorMade, spring of 2018, we won the Valley Wet Blue tournament and took first place and split the prize money among us. That season was full of new styles of play and strategies needed to get the win. Knowing only how to strike my ball before turned into learning how to play defense through ball placements, which also helped on offense. As you can see, playing for money and the bragging rights for that night, APA can be very competitive. Just as I was taught new skills playing billiards, first we were able to learn the interesting facts about the history of 8-ball pool and the APA League. Second, going over the pool cue, and lastly, personal connection to the game. Next time you walk into your local dive bar, take a glance over at the pool tables. It could be league night or an APA tournament being played. Take a final look at my prize cue. Hopefully, it will encourage you to visit your local billiard store and purchase one. You may be the next team competing for first place.